Alright guys, welcome to my YouTube channel at LightPips. So today we'll be looking at NFP, and I believe we all know what NFP simply means. And NFP simply means non-farm payroll. Non-farm payroll, and basically what you want to do with NFP is you want to take advantage of what the market will do. You want to confirm that okay, market is going to move in your direction. Market is going to do some things that that will help you to buy, and also that will help you to sell. All right, so I'm going to be starting with gold. We are going to be starting with gold, and basically gold is the major instrument that we are trading currently. Major instrument we trade currently. So just let's see. So how many people do we have online? All right, you can just give a thumbs up, you can like the video, you can decide to share the video. All right, share it with every trader that you know, and let's just view the market together. Let's see how the market is going to be moving today. Okay, all right, so before we proceed, I'm going to first explain what moving average, what NFP is all about. What is NFP and why are we trading NFP? All right, so I'm going to just explain those in a bit. Why NFP, what is NFP, how to trade NFP. So those are part of the things we are going to be discussing about. All right, so just stay tuned. All right, remember, like the video and remember to share the video. Okay, like the video and share the video. So we are live first Friday of August, trading NFP. Okay, so let's get this done. All right, not to take too much of our time. All right, so what is NFP? Basically, NFP simply means non-farm payroll. That's what NFP means. NFP means non-farm payroll, and non-farm payroll is simply the same thing as non-farm employment change, because when it comes to trading, there is technical analysis and there is fundamental analysis. Okay, so what technical analysis does is that you are going to be using the chart to determine whether price will rise or price will fall. But when it comes to fundamental analysis, you are making use of news events. And those news are what helps us to understand and to know whether the value of an instrument will rise or whether the value of an instrument will fall. Okay, so if you look at my screen very well, I have some news event here that you will see they are of different colors, they are of different titles. Remember, today is the first Friday of the month, And then you can see that today is August 7th and we have so many news coming out today. But then how many news are we expecting today? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 5 news coming out at the same time. And then you need to also discover something. Okay, the first 2 news that will be released is going to be affecting Canadian dollar. That's CAD, Canadian dollar. And the second news we are expecting is going to be affecting US dollar, which is USD. All right, so we have the CAD, also we have the USD. But then the focus for today is USD. So what we are trading today is USD. We are not, focusing on CAD. But then I know some people would want to trade CAD, but then I've stopped trading CAD for a while, because most of the news event coming out for CAD don't usually respond, to market activity. So it is best to focus on what will move, okay? And what will move is from dollar. Dollar is the currency that determines most of the activities that you have in the market. So this is Forex Factory. This is the site where we get news, where we get information about what to trade, per time. So today, Friday, that's the first thing. Then we look at the time. Then we talk about the instrument we want to trade, which is USD. Now, talking about USD, we have 3 news coming out for the US dollar. All right, 3 news coming out for the US dollar. And the news is all about, the first one is called average hourly earnings. What is average hourly earnings? Basically, it helps us to know, all right, the change in the price that businesses pay for labor, excluding the farming industry. So every news you want to trade today has to do with the farming industry. Remember we said NFP simply means non-farm payroll. Okay, that's the full meaning of NFP, non-farm payroll. And then there are 2 other news that actually comes with NFP. The first one is what we just discussed, which is average hourly earnings. Now, talking about average hourly earnings, remember it is the change in the price that businesses pay for labor. So which means if there is increase in what the laborers are earning, it shows that the companies are doing well. It is when there is no increase and then there is deductions that you know that, okay, some companies are not what? They are not doing well. So for this one, they are expecting 0.3% and the previous data is 0.3%. So for today, it depends on what it will be. All right, but my take, looking at it, if they are expecting it to be the same, maybe we should expect it to be the same also. All right, 0.3%. So if it's going to be the same, then we are not expecting a major change. Okay, but that's for average hourly earnings. Now let's talk about the main news for today, which is NFP. Now on the site, you are going to be seeing non-farm employment change. Non-farm employment change. So what is non-farm employment change? We said we are going to be talking about what NFP is all about. Then we are going to, quickly go to how to trade, with NFP. So non-farm payroll, non-farm employment change, basically, it is the change in the number of employed people during the previous month, excluding the farming industry. That's why they call it non-farm. Okay, non-farm. All right, so it measures the change in the number of people that are employed apart from the farming industry. All right. So the previous data for this news was actually 57K. All right, that's 57,000 people, were employed. But then for the previous month that we are expecting the data today, the forecasted figure is 85K. The forecasted figure is 85K. So what it means is very simple. So it means that they are expecting 85,000 people to gain employment for the previous month, which is higher than what the previous is. Now, the previous that we have has been the worst for this year, and I think it has been the worst for some years now. Okay, not really. Okay, in January, we have 50 in January, and September 2025 we have 22K. That has been the worst ever. 22K has been the worst ever, showing that 22,000 people in United States were employed apart from the farming industry. But then it has been the worst ever. Okay, so but then for today, they are expecting an increase, which means they expect it to rise, which is good for dollar. Then we have the last one that also comes out, in respect with NFP, which is called unemployment rate. Unemployment rate. Everybody knows what unemployment rate is, showing the percentage number of people that doesn't have job in the economy. All right, that's what unemployment rate is all about. So for unemployment rate, the previous was 4.2. Now they are expecting 4.2 to be, the outcome, which is the forecasted figure. But then right now, we don't know whether it's going to remain the same or there's going to be an increment. All right. So this is my take for today's news. The unemployment rate and average hourly earnings is expected to come out the same. So let's say that it's coming out the same. Then the non-farm employment change, which is the NFP itself, they are expecting it to increase, which means we're expecting to see a stronger dollar. All right, a stronger dollar. But then right now on our currency strength meter, we discover that dollar is flat. What it means is that dollar is weak. All right, guys, don't forget to like this video and don't forget to share this video. Okay, share it with your contacts so that they can, gain some insight and some level of knowledge to how to trade NFP. I've been trading NFP for over 4 years now, and it has, been, a smooth ride for everyone who has been following and everyone who has been trading with me every first Friday of the month. All right, so share the video, like the video, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, just click on the subscribe button right in front of you. All right, so talking about the currency strength, we discover that USD is very, very weak, which is why you discover that gold has been rising. Now, there is a simple analogy that can help beginners to start trading gold. What is the analogy? It's just that anytime dollar is weak, you expect gold to be rising. Anytime dollar is weak, you expect gold to be rising. So what it means is that immediately you discover that dollar is losing strength, you expect gold to be rising. Okay, so for today's news, if the news comes out bad for dollar, we expect gold to rise, and if the news comes out good for dollar, we expect gold to fall. So obviously there is going to be one out of the two. Either the news is good or the news is bad. So, and before then, let's quickly look at the possibilities of buying and selling on the chart. Okay, what are the possibilities? What are the most likely scenarios that might play out? All right, for gold. But before I do that for gold, I would like us to start with other instruments, and other instruments like USD JPY. All right, USD JPY. Now, USD JPY has been flat. What it means is that it has been doing more of ups and downs. It has been doing more of ups and downs. So USD JPY has decided to stay within a particular spot. All right, you know, the last NFP came out, I think, a bit bad or good also. I think it came out bad for you, and then, you know, dollar lose strength and dollar started, started selling, but then it got to a point it stopped. Yeah, the last NFP wasn't all that good for dollar, so dollar lost strength and immediately it picked up the strength. All right, so now for today, looking at what has been happening, we discovered that price fell, and if you want to look at it very well, it seems like price got to a particular spot here. Okay, all right, just hold on. So I'm trying to mark out some, places on the chart. All right, that's fine. Okay, so this is it here. Now immediately price entered the spot. You notice that price started going back up, but this is daily time frame, right? So if price wants to bounce back, obviously you should expect price to bounce back to probably somewhere around here. Talking about support and resistance now. Okay, talking about support and resistance. So price should be able to bounce back to that point. All right, so you can see the levels of support and resistance for USD JPY. So if you can break through this particular spot, then you expect it to go back to 164, somewhere around 163.9 or 163.8 thereabouts. Okay, so for this guy now, let me go back to 4 hours time frame. So if we are looking at setting any orders on this chart, we should be looking at doing buy stop and sell stop. Okay, buy stop and sell stop. All right, so you see there's what is called top down analysis. All right, so the top down analysis is that you are doing your analysis from higher time frame, bringing it down to the smaller time frame. Okay, for today it is either there will be a breakout up or there will be a breakout down. All right, so depending on where the breakout will be, that's not the problem. So the buy stop for USD JPY, okay, let's have it here. So buy stop for USD JPY, because I'm going to set it right now. Chart USD JPY, so I'm going to do buy stop and sell stop. Buy stop, and I'm going to be giving us TP. Buy stop for USD JPY. All right, so depending on the volume you want to use, determine your volume. Just determine your volume, because I won't be giving you the volume. So I'll be using, for USD JPY, we are going to be trying 0.05. all right, for those that want to try it. So buy stop USD JPY, and then entry price will be at 158.748. 158.748. Do I need to drag this down a bit? Alright, so I'm going to be dragging it down a bit. Alright, I'm going to be changing the entry price for buy stop on USD JPY is going to be 158.682. 158.682. Then TP is going to be 159.149. So let's quickly run that again. Buy stop USD JPY, entry price at 158.682, then take profit at 159.149. Okay, so you can place the order. Okay, good. That's the buy stop. That's the buy stop. Then for the sell stop, so we are going to be doing sell stop. So sell stop for USD JPY. The sell stop for USD JPY. So let me just take this one a bit up. Sell stop for USD JPY will be at 158.012. 158.012. 158.012, and our take profit will be, take profit is going to be 157. All right, it should not be all that far. Okay, so 157.639. 157.639. All right, let's quickly run this again. Sell stop for USD JPY at 158.012 and take profit at 157.639. Then let's place the order. All right, so obviously with what price is doing, price has been doing up and down. Okay, so there needs to be a breakout. Either price will break above or price will break below. So you can be prepared for anything price wants to do. Then for NAS 100, which is the same thing as US 100, this guy has actually been very, very amazing. The movement of US 100 has been so amazing, to the point that I'm just shocked and surprised at how US 100 has been moving, how it has been moving. But then for those that want to trade US 100, which is the same thing as NAS 100, be very, very, very careful with NAS 100. All right, just be very, very careful with it. So I'm going back to gold because we are less than 8 minutes away from the news. Less than 8 minutes away from the news. So since we are less than 8 minutes away from the news, in short, less than 7 minutes now, less than 7 minutes away from the news, which means the news will soon be released. So I'm going to quickly drop the entries for gold. All right, so gold will be the last thing we are going to be discussing. Gold is going to be the last instrument. All right, so let me do it on 1 hour time frame. So for gold, well, expectation is for it to fall a bit, and if it's falling, this is for, okay, gold has been very, very amazing. Gold can put you in trouble if you are not careful. Yes, it can put you in trouble if you are not careful. So you need to be very, very careful when trading gold. All right, be very, very, very careful when trading gold. So for gold, we are going to be doing buy stop and sell stop. For gold, which is XAUUSD, buy stop and sell stop. So I'm going to start with buy stop for gold, but then I think we should use 0.01. All right, that's just an advice. Okay, it's just an advice, depending on how much you have as your trading capital. That's what determines your lot size for trading. Okay, so 0.01 for some. If you want to use 0.02, that will also be fine. Okay, so entry price buy stop for gold. Entry price buy stop for gold at 4335.53, 4335.53, and take profit will be at 4350.44. So let's take that again. Entry price at 4335.53, then take profit at 4350.44. 4350.44. All right, so that will be my take for buying on gold. If gold can even break above, it will just keep going. But then there is something I'm suspecting about today's market activity. I'm suspecting today's market activity to be kind of sluggish. So any trade that triggers, don't be in panic. Don't be in panic to rush out of the trade. All right. So let's quickly do our sell stop. Sell stop for gold. Sell stop for gold. All right, so sell stop for gold. I'm looking at my entry price at 4299.08. 4299.08. You can just easily get that now. 4299.08, and I'm looking at take profit at 4286. 4286.48. So let me quickly take that again. Looking at entry price at 4299.08, then take profit at 4286.48. So we can place the order, place sell stop. Now let's quickly talk about the possibilities in the market. So tendency for gold to come down. All right, so it can come down to gain momentum before rising. Gold can decide to drop, which means you can decide to fall down to somewhere around moving average, which it has done before. So you might not expect it to happen immediately. So it should fall down to somewhere around here, then pick its track and start going up. Or if we are using our 4-hour time frame, even if price wants to fall, it might not fall all that much. Price can just continue to just go all the way up. All right, that's why it's very important for us to be careful with spread, because spread is one of the things that can easily trigger our trade. So we are less than 2 minutes away from the news. Less than 2 minutes away from the news. So we are going to be seeing what will happen, on those instruments that we have: USD JPY and gold. USD JPY and gold. Okay, we are going to be seeing what is going to happen on these guys. Okay, so I want you to stay tuned, stay close. All right, if you are joining us for the first time, you are welcome. All right, remember to subscribe to this channel, and also you can like this video, and remember to share this video. Okay, remember to like the video, remember to share the video. So just like I was saying, gold can decide to either break below or it breaks above. Then for USD JPY that we have, if we want to go by the small time frames, I would have even done this on a smaller time frame, but there's no problem because the sell stop should have been closer. We are less than 1 minute away. So less than 1 minute away. So let's see what the market is going to do. All right, so less than 20 seconds now. So this is it. Now we are going to do the countdown together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so what do we have? All right, so the sell stop for USD JPY has triggered. Sell stop for USD JPY has triggered and it has closed in profit. Sell stop has closed in profit. Then gold, the buy stop triggered and it closed in profit. Okay, buy stop triggered and it closed in profit. Wow, that's very, very nice. Very, 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 very nice. Okay, so the two orders that we set as closed in profit. All right, guys, so you can delete the remaining orders that did not trigger. Delete the remaining orders that did not trigger. Okay, the buy stop for USD JPY, delete it. Then the sell stop for gold should be deleted. Now let's go and check what is the outcome of the news. Was it good or was it bad? All right, so the news came out mixed. Oh no. All right, so for those that still want to trade gold, you can keep buying gold. You can keep buying gold, buy gold, because the news came out to be minus 23k against 85k. That this is the worst of it all, the worst of all NFP that we have ever traded. This is the worst of it all, coming out a negative for NFP, the worst of it all. Just keep buying gold, don't stop buying gold. But then I'm going to give you take profit for gold so that you can stop buying it. The price is still going higher and higher. Average hourly earnings came out to be 0.1% against 0.3%, and then unemployment rate came out to be 4.1%. But then obviously the news responds to NFP, which is minus 23k. All right, so let's go back to the chart and let's see where we are expected to stop this trade. Okay, so for those that are still buying gold, so let's see where you can take out your orders from. Let me see. So if you are still buying, look at where you can put your take profit. I think price is even almost there, if not there, sef. Now your take profit should be around 43. Your take profit should be around 4375. Take profit should be around 4375 for those that are still buying gold. 4375. But remember, put your stop loss at break even. Okay, put your stop loss above your entry price so that if price wants to drop, you can easily still take your profit. All right, thank you guys for joining the live session. All right, thank you. Remember, subscribe if you have not subscribed, like the video and share this video. Okay, if you are looking for mentorship and you are looking for partnership, all right, LightPips is very, very much available for you for that. Okay, thank you guys and see you in my next video.